Hey Paige, it's Adam. Kind of disappointed this week. I had a lot of notes written down on turtles, and I was going to turn that into a nice little environmental speech. But you went change topics on me again. Gay marriage. I I'm pretty sure most of you have figured this out by now. I'm a very conservative individual, and as soon as I say that, I know a lot of people are going to think, well, he doesn't believe in gay marriage. And I believe what you have to do is you have to separate the religious institution and the social convenience. Or, well, I shouldn't even say that. The religious institution and the social institution of what marriage is. Um, Most religions, and this is the part that really confuses me about some people, two men and two women cannot be married. It's not only immoral, it's impossible. They view marriage as a covenant between a man and a woman and God. And if you don't have all three of those pieces, then nothing happens. The social institution of marriage, though, is what guarantees people certain rights. The right to visit their spouse when they're dying, the right to spousal support, the right to sue for childcare. And these are rights that we can't deny people because we don't agree with their lifestyle. I may not be gay, but I'm not going to sit there and tell somebody who is that you can't go visit your dying loved one. So I believe with those two separated, it's a clear choice that we should, at least here in the States and worldwide, legalize same-sex marriage. And there's another point I'd like to bring up real quick. And to quote a character off of one of my favorite television shows, money, 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 money. You see, here in the States, you have to apply for a marriage license. And that costs money. That money goes to the state and is then used to further other programs. When my state, Washington, legalized same-sex marriage, we had a huge influx of marriage licenses. With that came a lot of money, which helped our state out. Not to mention that it included public morale. It improved public morale. And all around, nobody ended up getting hurt. I would like to say, though, I did end up actually voting against that bill. For one reason in particular. There is a clause in that bill that would have forced ministers to open their churches to homosexual couples. I don't believe that. I believe that they should be allowed to be married and they should be able to do their thing. But I don't believe that you should force other people to abandon their beliefs. It's the same reason that I, as a Protestant, cannot go into a Mormon church and demand to be married there. I will actually be defiling their sacred place. And because I wouldn't expect people like that to allow me to marry in their sacred spaces, I don't find it fair that I should be forced to let others into my sacred spaces. On top of that, though, and I guess this is just something that's personally confused me for a while, why would you choose to be married at a place where you know you're not accepted? See, gay marriage is a complicated issue with a lot of pros and cons on both sides. It's not just about social justice, it's about money and beliefs and who we are as people. Equality is a huge factor, but it's not the only factor. We need to also take into account what other people feel. Is it right for the state to demand that people abandon their beliefs? I say no. Just as the opposite is true. The state can't force you to go to church. It can't stop you from it. The state can't force you to build a holy place. I don't believe it should be able to defile it. And I realize that these opinions are unpopular. And I hope others realize that these are not opinions I just waltzed in upon. I have several direct family members who are homosexuals, and this affects me on a personal level. And I want nothing but the best for them. And it tears me to bits that I have a cousin who can't live in the States because he's afraid of the persecution. He's a great man, but until these questions get answered, he can't come home. And I think that is the big shame here. These people feel so unwelcomed and unloved that they're leaving our nation and they're going to places like Italy and Uruguay and all these other places that have legalized this and made it okay. And they're getting some of our best and our brightest. And I believe that nobody should be forced to leave their home unless they choose to. And the fact that people are feeling compelled to leave for their own safety, that's what I'm ashamed of. Anyway, I wish everyone the best of luck, and I will hear from you on Monday, Paige.